At the beginning of this series, we asked what is a language? Now that we know a little bit more about language, what makes a language a language? Are there communication methods that seem like a language but are not? Today, we are going to discuss the requirements of languages. Before we begin, a few things to remember. First, sign systems are a reality. As ASL students, you are privileged to be learning a sign language and not a sign system, something many deaf people experience. We need to know that sign languages and sign systems are not the same. At the same time, we do not look down on those who use a sign system because we do not choose the languages and systems we are exposed to and we are required to use. Second, sign systems were created for a specific goal. They were never intended to be treated or used as a language. They were often meant to support deaf students in their learning of a spoken language. Third, the easiest way to determine a language versus a system is its dependability. Languages are independent. If all other languages disappeared except for that one, it can still exist and stand alone. If the language cannot stand alone, it is not a language. Finally, you will see that some sign systems may have features of natural languages, but no sign system will have all the features found in natural languages. So, what is a language? We know languages are naturally occurring, rule-governed communication systems unique to human beings. All languages seemingly have these 9 requirements. The first requirement is the mode. All languages have some kind of form. You need to be able to produce the language. Sign languages typically use hands and spoken languages typically use the voice. Second, I can express a message to you and you can express a message to me. Two-way communication is a must. Third, the forms of the language have a shared, agreed-upon meaning. If I sign red, we all have a common understanding of the color I mean. Fourth, arbitrariness. Forms in the language do not need to be correlated or related to their meaning. The sign vacuum does look like the action of vacuuming, but the English word vacuum has no connection to the object. Fifth, the language can be passed down naturally. If I have a baby, I can expose them to the language and they will acquire it. Sixth, symbols can be broken down into their smallest components and reused in other symbols. The word mom has 2 sounds that can be found in other words. The sign MOM uses a handshape that can be found in other signs, as well as the other parameters, they can also be found in other signs. Seventh, I can use the language to talk about the past, present, future, and any imaginary thing. I can even use the language to talk about the language. Eighth, the language can continually evolve and develop by creating new symbols that fit into the rules of the language. Lastly, a language can be used in any situation and in any domain. Now, it is time to look at American Sign Language. As you should know, ASL is a language. It meets all of these requirements. Now it is your turn to analyze communication methods and determine if they are a language or not. Use this example as guidance. So, you are going to analyze 5 methods: signing exact English, British Sign Language, Rochester Method, cued speech, and simultaneous communication. Use the charts provided to explain why a method is or is not a language.